Hello everyone, I'm Jason, and this is Dan Torrey.
Hi everybody.
Who loves Spider-Man.
I do, that's very true.
Yeah, he loves Spider-Man too.
Spider-Man's one of my favorite things, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
he is Spider-Dan.
Thwip thwip.
Today we are going to do top 10 Nintendo games.
That's right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Dan is going to do a list.
Yep.
And I'm doing a list.
Top 10.
Yep. And let's do this thing. So who should start?
You can start, since you're the host, and I can't wait to see if our lists are at all similar.
Yep. Okay, so my 10th one is SNES Star Fox.
Very nice.
Yes. I like this game. I kind of like this game.
You kind of like it?
Yeah,
it's okay.
It's a weird racing game.
Yeah, it's like an on-rail shooter kind of arcade-style game, right?
Yeah.
Early polygon graphics, like the Super FX chip they used in the SNES cartridges back then. Those games are really hard to emulate, so they haven't released it in a lot of the Virtual Console stuff. You're really lucky that you got to play it on a Super Nintendo, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your 10? What?
My number 10 is a much more recent game. Mine is Mario Kart 8 for Wii U and a Nintendo Switch.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's my favorite of the Mario Kart games. I think that's...
What?
Yeah, it is. I think it's the best one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait till you see what my favorite one is.
Oh, I can't wait to see. I like it a lot because it's got the most tracks. The soundtrack's great. It's got a lot of characters in it. I do miss the the two person on a cart thing from Double Dash. I always thought that was a cool mechanic, but
yeah, Double Dash. But the one on the Switch has the
two item box. Yeah, that is cool.
From Double Dash.
Yes, so they brought a little bit of that back.
And it brought King Boo back.
Yeah, which is awesome.
From Double Dash.
Preview. I'm a big Luigi's Mansion fan, so I was really happy to see King Boo in there.
Whatever. My number 9 is Super Mario 64.
Very good choice.
Yeah. I hate the eating pianos. I hate the eating pianos.
Yeah?
They just eat you up when you get close to them.
They do.
I tried to jump up on them, but they would just start eating me. And the first time I went into that ghost house, I screamed.
The ghost house levels in Mario are always some of the toughest I've found. Like in Mario World, those are some of the toughest ones, and I think in 64 too.
Yes.
What's your favorite cap in 64? What's your favorite power-up?
Oh, man. The power box.
Oh, nice. Do you have a favorite like hat Mario wears, like the metal cap or the wing cap? Anything like any of those?
Wing cap.
Wing cap is pretty fun, yeah. Yep.
What is your 9th?
My number 9 is Super Smash Bros. Melee, the Smash Brothers game on the GameCube.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my favorite of them.
We have that one.
Yeah, yeah, it's a really good one.
Yeah, it's a really good one. I actually played it yesterday.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Who's your main character in Smash Bros. Melee?
Ooh. We're in Smash Brothers in all of them.
Yep.
It's Kirby.
Kirby's a good choice.
Yeah.
He's generally ranked in one of...
I thought it was she.
I think Kirby's a he, but I've never checked.
Yeah, I think it's a she.
You could be right. I don't know. Okay. But Kirby's generally ranked among like the top tier like Smash Bros. Characters. A lot of the pro players like to use Kirby.
I love her. I love him because I love it because it has the power to have other characters' ability.
Yeah, you get their B button attack.
Yeah,
which is cool.
And from blowing them down.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, you like eat them and you go poop and you pop in their power. It's really cool. My main character is Link. I've always been really good with him going back to the original game. He's my favorite.
Oh.
I really like all the power-ups you get to use with him, the bombs, the arrows, the boomerangs, stuff like that. And Zelda's my favorite Nintendo series, so you might see some of those games on the list later on.
Oh.
But yeah, Smash Bros. Melee is my favorite of the Smash Bros. Games because I like the mechanics of it the best. I feel like it plays the smoothest of them. Yeah. I do like the one that came out on the Wii U recently. That's probably a very close second, but I still think Melee takes it for me.
Yeah. Did you know that the guy who does the announcer does Master Hand and Crazy Hand?
Really? I didn't know that. Wow.
I looked that up on Wikipedia.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
My number 8 is Mega Man 2.
Mega Man 2. That game is difficult.
Yes.
Have you ever beaten Mega Man 2?
One level.
Wow. That's farther than I've gone, to be honest with you. I'm not very good at any of those Mega Man games.
My favorite Mega Man character, my favorite Mega Man villain is Meta Man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That's the level that I can meet.
Oh, nice. And of course, one of the cool things about Mega Man, all the games, is the music. I love the music for Mega Man 2.
Yeah, I love the music for Mega Man 2 too.
Like the intro theme where it's like do 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 do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good stuff, huh?
It's a lot like Mario. Number 7.
It's my turn.
Oh right, I forgot.
That's okay. All right, my number 8 is Star Fox 64.
We both did Star Fox.
Yeah, I'm a big Star Fox fan. I was debating on whether to put Star Fox 64 or, weirdly enough, Star Fox Adventures. I really like that game. I don't know if you've ever played it. It's a GameCube game. It's not Fox when you're in the ships. You like run around on the ground and you explore like Dinosaur Planet.
Oh, that's cool.
A lot of people don't like that game because it's not really a Star Fox game, but I always really liked it. But I figured if push came to shove, I'd probably choose Star Fox 64 because it's more of a traditional Star Fox game, and I really, really like that game. It's really fun.
My number 7 is Wave Race 64.
Cool. I wouldn't have thought to put that on my list, but that's a really fun one of the launch titles for the N64, I think.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a cool game going like over the arrows and then like it's really cool to go like over the arrows because you need to go that way. Yeah. And then onto the street, and then this way, and then onto the street, and then that way, and then that way. I'm kind of disappointed that Nintendo doesn't make racing games other than Mario Kart anymore. I would like to see them do an F-Zero or a Wave Racer or something like that in the future. I feel like that'd be cool. Where they did a Star Fox game on Wii U.
That's not a racing one though. That's like it's a on-rail shooter like the other Star Fox games.
Oh.
Yeah, like have you ever played F-Zero, the games that Captain Falcon is from?
Yes.
Yeah, like those games.
No, actually.
You haven't? They're on the first one's on Super Nintendo, and the it's fun, but it's kind of difficult. And then there's one on N64, and then there's one on GameCube, and the one on GameCube is brutally difficult. It's very hard, but very fun game. I like it.
Okay. Cool.
So my number 7.
And there is
I didn't mean to cut you off.
is a F-Zero kart in Mario Kart.
Yes, there's 2 of them. You got Big Blue and Mute City.
Yeah, but there's a kart too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right. You get Captain Falcon's car from F-Zero. Yep.
The Blue Falcon.
Yes,
I think.
The Blue Falcon. You're right.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You're full of trivia. I'm loving this.
At first I thought it was a Falcon car. It was called a Falcon car, but it's called the Blue Falcon. Yeah.
Yeah. So, my number 7 is Luigi's Mansion, one of the launch titles for the GameCube.
Oh.
I'm a big fan of the Luigi's Mansion series, and I like both the games pretty much equally, but I think I have a little bit of a nostalgic connection to the first one. I really like the horror aesthetic throughout the entire game, exploring a mansion, unlocking all the doors. It's a relatively short game, but that's a game I've played through probably like 20 times. As a kid, I used to play it all the time. Like in a weekend, I just sit down and play Luigi's Mansion all the way through and try to get as much money as I could. Have you ever played any of the Luigi's Mansion games?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Which ones have you played? Did you play the first and the second one?
No, I just played the second one.
The second one's real good, too. You play it on 3DS?
Yeah.
Nice, yeah. I debated whether to include that one or this one, but I ultimately went with the first one.
My number 6, and you might not realize this, but my number 6 is Mario Kart 64.
Wow.
Yeah.
64 is a good one.
Yep, it's my favorite.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who do you play as in Mario Kart 64?
I play as I used to play as Donkey Kong, but now I play as Luigi.
Those are my two favorite characters. Pound it, Jason. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
That's all you gotta say? I don't want to cut you off.
Actually, Mario Kart 64 is really good because all the characters are really fast.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yep.
And that's and I loved it when they put in 200cc.
In Mario Kart 64?
No, in Mario Kart 8.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
When they put in 200cc in the Mario Kart games, I was like, oh my gosh, this Mario Kart
really
is
hard.
cooler now.
Yeah, it is cooler. It's really hard because you have to learn how to brake effectively.
Yes.
Whereas before with Mario Kart, you just had your thumb on the gas the whole time, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right, so
because you go really fast.
You do. It's crazy.
Okay.
So moving on to number 6 now.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, my 6 was Mario Kart 64.
Yep. So my 6 now, right? Okay.
Yeah,
cool. All right. My number 6 is Donkey Kong Country 2: Diddy's Conquest.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I never even put a Donkey Kong one in here.
Yeah, you like the Donkey Kong Country games, don't you? Though. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You really like platformers.
I love 2.
So. Yeah. The second one I think is the best one of the classic series for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's a game I think that did everything better than the first game and did everything better than the third game too. I really like the that it starts directly after the first game. You start on the pirate ship, and all the aesthetic of all the levels is really cool, and it gets so challenging and difficult by the end of the game, but in a fun way. It's not hard in that like unfair sort of way that some platformers can be.
Right.
It took me a long time to get through that game because I was like. I was pulling my hair out on some of the levels, Jason. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I eventually got through it.
Right. My number 5 is Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon.
Nice.
We both put a Luigi's Mansion in there.
That's awesome.
I like this game because it's puzzly.
Yeah.
You have to find all the keys. Mm-hmm. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Earthworm Jim in a way.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never played Earthworm Jim, but isn't that a platformer?
Yeah.
Oh.
But Luigi's Mansion is a 3D platformer.
You can't jump in Luigi's Mansion.
Oh right. It's a RPG, right?
No.
Oh.
That's okay.
I don't even know what type of game it is.
It's kind of like a puzzle game, like you said. You were right when you originally said it was an exploration puzzly kind of game.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. You're definitely right there. I hope they make a third Luigi's Mansion game on Switch.
Yes.
That would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'd really like to see that.
Yeah. We would totally get a Switch if that happens.
Right.
Right.
All right. So my number 5 is Pokemon Gold version.
Oh.
This was the first Pokemon cartridge I got. I went back and played Blue after. And the thing I like about Gold is you get to go to 2 regions. You get to go to the one they introduce in that game, which is Johto, and then you get to go to Kanto, where the original 151 Pokemon are from.
That's where I live at the beginning of Pokemon Moon.
Yes, that's right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Alola.
Yep. You're right. Yep.
Yeah.
So in Pokemon Gold, you start out in Johto, and you get to pick from 3 of the cooler starters of the ones they introduced after Gen 1, I think. I always pick Totodile, the water one. And that game's just huge. It's the biggest in terms of, like, the things you get to do of all the Pokemon games, I think. And they remade Silver and Gold on DS, and the remakes were pretty good, too.
Oh.
So.
And they made Dark and Light on DS.
Dark and Light?
Yeah. Those are both Pokemon games on DS.
Oh, Black and White. Is that what you're saying? Black and White were games for the DS.
Oh, I thought...
Maybe that's what you're thinking of.
I thought it was Pokemon Dark and Pokemon Light.
I don't think so.
Because my cousin has Pokemon Dark.
I think you might be thinking of Pokemon Black.
Oh.
Yeah, because I played Black on the DS. Those games are fun, too.
Yeah. let's get started on the next one.
Sounds good, sir.
Okay, number 4, Super Mario Brothers 3.
That's a great game.
Yes, it is. And I love it because of the raccoon suit.
So are you well, maybe this will give away on your list. But are you someone that likes Super Mario Brothers 3 or Super Mario World better? Because that's a debate that goes on in the Mario fandom all the time. I'm more of a Super Mario World person. That's my favorite of the two. Yeah. But I see why people love 3 too, because it's a fantastic game as well.
3 is pretty good because it's as a raccoon suit and you can
you can fly with it.
You can it's the 3rd Mario game, and it's on the NES, which is really cool because then there's 4 Mario games on NES.
Yeah.
And that's really cool, and that's why I like that, because it gets more NES games on there. And if it was on the SNES, I would like Wood better.
One of the things I thought was so impressive about 3 versus the first 2 Mario Brothers games on NES was how much better the graphics were for its time. Like, you play the original Mario Brothers, and 3 looks so much better. And the platforming is more refined. Everything about it is just better than the other 2 games, I think.
And why I like 3 better is because Wood just looks weird.
You think so?
Yeah.
I really like the art style for World personally, but to each his own.
Yeah, I don't like Mario's how Mario looks in that game.
You think he looks too fat?
No, I think he looks too old.
Oh, too old?
We're too little.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you don't see the M on his hat.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Can you see it on his hat in 3?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna have to look next time I play. We'll see. All right, so my number 4. I'm gonna ask you: have you ever played any of the Metroid games?
Yes.
My number 4 is Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo.
Oh yeah, that one's. Well, I've actually never played it.
It's really good.
I've only played the first one.
The first one's fun, but I think Super Metroid, like Mario 3, takes everything that was great about the first game and just multiplied it by 10. Super Metroid is one of the best video games of all time.
Because of the Dr. Octopus robot. There's a Dr. Octopus robot in there. Yeah.
Okay.
He has 4 arms.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. So Super Metroid, the reason why I like it, and I think you might like it too, is it's a platforming game like Mario, where you're like going up and down and stuff, but it's also exploration based and equipment upgrade based like Zelda. So it's kind of like a cool marriage of those 2 concepts, and that's what I've always liked about the Metroid games, especially the 2D ones. I really, really like Super Metroid. It's the best of the 2D ones by far, and I could have put one of the Metroid Prime games on here because I like those too, but I decided to go with 2D to mix it up a little bit because I have a lot of N64 3D type games on my list. So
cool. Let's get started on 3.
Yes, the top 3.
Number 3, Pokemon Moon.
Good. Pokemon's a great series. I love RPGs, and you seem to if you like Pokemon. So
yeah. And you know what? There is actually a Mario RPG.
There's lots of them. Yeah.
There's Super Mario RPG and Captain Toad.
And Captain Toad isn't an RPG. That's more of a puzzle game. I think you may be thinking of the Mario and Luigi series, like Superstar Saga, Bowser's Inside Story. Those games are all RPGs. Oh. Yeah, and the first two Paper Mario games are RPGs too.
You can jump in that game.
Yeah, but it's all stat based. The combat. That's what kind of makes an RPG, where you have the statistics, the HP, the attack points, stuff like that. So if you want to play any more of the Mario RPGs, because if you played the one on Super Nintendo, Legend of the Seven Stars, no, you like that game. If you like Pokemon, it's like a turn-based RPG where you pick your attack and stuff, but you play as Mario instead.
Yeah.
And there's also like I said, all the Mario and Luigi games, and the first two Paper Mario games are like that too. So you probably like those too.
Is the second one the one on GameCube?
Yeah, the 1,000-Year Door.
Okay, yeah,
that game's awesome.
we have that one.
Yeah, have you played it at all? No.
No?
Yeah, you should play it when you get a chance. It's really good.
Okay. Yeah. What's your number 3, Sarah?
My number 3, Jason, is Super Mario 64.
I put it on my list.
Yeah.
We have a lot in common.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
We're both huge Nintendo fans, and we both love Super Mario 64.
And we both love Spider-Man.
That's true. Yes. So Super Mario 64, I love that game. That was the first Mario game I ever played, and the thing I loved about it was just compared to the other 3D games at the time, like the flawless way you were able to control Mario. Like if you go back and play it now, you do wrestle with the camera a little bit compared to some of the newer ones. If you have played Galaxy or stuff or any of the other games in the series after that, but 64 is just it's one of the first video games I ever played when I was a kid. So I just have such a nostalgic connection to it, and it still I think holds up as a pretty good Mario game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And with Super Mario 64, I was actually talking about that last night.
Were you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Why we were playing Earthworm Jim when there were like teeth that were eating you.
Yeah.
And that was when I was talking about.
Oh, cool.
That game. But yeah.
Cool. What's your number 2, sir?
Super Mario Maker.
That's a good choice.
Yes.
It's the 2D Mario game that never ends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like making stuff.
That's a huge part of it. I think that's something people have asked for years is a level builder for Mario.
But I wish you could have more words than just 30.
Yeah.
I wish you could have like 100 words.
That would be pretty cool.
To make. Because then you'd have to replace levers when you've got it or.
You know what I think would be really cool would be if Nintendo made a Donkey Kong Country Maker.
Yes.
I would love that.
Yes.
You know, like in the same style as Tropical Freeze and Returns on Wii. Those games would be great, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I'm with you. Mario Maker is a fantastic game. Good, very good choice. Mm-hmm. So I tried to limit. Oh, sorry. You were going to say something?
But there was a Sonic Maker online.
Was there?
Yes.
I don't think I've played that.
Yeah, it's an online
Did
game.
Sega make it, or did like a fan make it or something?
I think it was a fan.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I might have to check that out then, because fan projects are often really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, all right.
Somebody made a Mario Party game.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well,
from scratch.
I should hope so, because Nintendo hasn't made a great Mario Party game in a long time. I feel like the last couple have been kind of lackluster.
But it was a fan who made it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe the fans did a better job than Nintendo in that case, you know?
Yeah.
Potentially. I mean, I don't know which one you're talking about.
It was pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. There was a game where you had to jump on a question block, and in like 11 minutes or so, you had to the one who got the most jump numbers win.
Oh, cool.
Wins. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Really cool.
That sounds like a cool mini game.
Points for jumps.
Yeah, that's awesome. So my number 2, I tried to limit myself to one game in every Nintendo franchise, but I couldn't choose between 2 Zelda games, so these are going to be my top 2.
Oh.
So number 2 is The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask on N64. Have you ever played any of the Zelda games?
No.
No, you haven't? Well, if you like adventure games and puzzle games like Luigi's Mansion, I think you'd like Zelda, because that's pretty much all it is. It's like exploring a big, giant world and doing dungeons, solving puzzles, getting items, stuff like that.
Actually, I have played Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild is a masterpiece of a video game.
Yes.
I love it.
It's pretty good. But when you fall down, you lose all your lives, and I hate that.
The combat is pretty hard at the beginning, which is... I kind of appreciated that, because for a long time, or at least the past few Zelda games that we've gotten in the 3D series, they've been kind of easy for my taste. I like that Breath of the Wild was a little bit more challenging.
I like the milk bar.
Yeah. Well, that's a thing.
The milk bar.
The milk bar first appears, or it makes. I don't know. I don't remember if it's exactly the first appearance, but like the milk bar plays a huge role in Majora's Mask. It's a very story-based game.
Yeah.
The premise of the game is Link is trapped in a time loop, and he has to repeat the same 3 days over and over again, or the moon will fall onto the Earth and destroy everyone. So your job is to travel through time. That's basically what the premise of the game is, and it's a really dark and haunting kind of story for a Zelda game. Usually they're a little bit more upbeat. It was the sequel to Ocarina of Time, came out in 2000. It was one of the last games released for the N64, and I think it was fantastic. I have trouble placing it at 1 or 2 on my top 10 Nintendo games of all time, because I love that game. It's wonderful.
Okay, let's go to number 1.
Drum roll, please.
My number 1
is
Super Smash Brothers for Wii U and 3DS.
That's a good choice.
3DS and Wii U.
Okay.
Because 3DS came first.
Yes, you're right.
Why.
You're right. Jason knows his Nintendo.
Yes. I know all of the Mario Karts in order.
Very nice.
That's because I've been on YouTube a lot.
YouTube's a good place to be.
Yes.
You can learn a lot of things about Nintendo stuff from YouTube, for sure. So what do you like about Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS?
Well, I like that it has a lot more characters and more items.
More stages? More everything, really, right?
Yeah, more everything. And in the Wii U game, and like Melee, in the 3DS one, you can do a platformer.
Yes.
Yes. And in the Wii U one, you can do a, it's not a puzzle game, it's a board game. You can do a Super Smash Brothers board game.
Oh yeah, is that one of the modes? I haven't digged. I usually play.
Of the modes.
The way I play Super Smash Bros. With my friends is we turn all the items off and do like a stage with no gimmicks, and it's like a skilled fighting game. I've never really digged into a lot of the other modes, but that's really cool.
Yeah.
I did like tournament mode is really as far as I go when I play with my friends.
I actually sometimes I turn all the items off, but turn the items on that are from the same game.
That's actually a really cool idea.
Yeah.
So if you play on the Zelda stage, only the Zelda items would fall, and on Pokemon stage, only the Pokemon ones.
But a Pokemon game item.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good idea. I've never done that before.
And do you know how I know how to do all of those? It's because they don't tell you what game it's from, but the book does, and I have the book.
Very nice. And if you don't have the book, you can also look at the trophies. They'll tell you where, like if you get the Pokeball trophy, it'll say like first appeared in this game and this year, that kind of thing. I really hope for the Switch, because I hope they're going to port that version of Super Smash Bros. To the Switch, and I hope what they do is they take all the stages from the 3DS and put it with the Wii U ones and put it all in one package.
Oh,
that would be pretty cool.
They made a trailer for Super Smash Bros. Switch, but they haven't released it yet.
You sure it's not a fan-made thing? Because I don't think that's been announced yet. It might be a fan-made thing. They're probably going to do it, though. I can't imagine Nintendo wouldn't, because they ported Mario Kart, so, I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've done Super Smash Bros. On a lot of systems.
Oh, yeah.
Already.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what the Super Smash Bros. Game, the next one they make after 3DS and Wii U, how great that game will be, right? How many characters do you think will be in that one?
Yeah.
A lot. Is Kirby still your favorite character in that version?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right.
Well, either Kirby or the new character, Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt? You like him?
Yes.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah. When I would play Duck Hunt as Duck Hunt, I would just start. Nobody would know the song, but I would just start singing the song Funky Duck. Because there's a song called Funky Duck.
Yeah.
Which is really funny, and it's about a funky duck.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
A duck that
seems very appropriate.
A duck that is into hip-hop a lot.
A hip-hop duck?
Yes.
That sounds like the coolest duck of all time.
Yeah.
All right. Can we move on to my number one? I'll briefly talk about it. So my number one is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time for the N64.
Oh.
This was the first 3D Zelda game, like how Mario 64 was the first 3D Mario game. And this was, I think, the video game that made me into a gamer, that made me love video games in the way that I'm still a fan of them today.
I thought that
that was like one of the first games I played, but Zelda, I think, was the one that made me stick playing video games for like the rest of my life.
Well, I thought Super Mario Kart was the first 3D Mario game.
Super Mario 64 was the first like 3D Mario platforming game. That's what I mean. Yeah. The platforming, like the main series. So yeah, Ocarina of Time is a really great game. I think you would probably like this game a lot too. It's a similar kind of thing as Majora's Mask, but it's a little bit more of a traditional Zelda game. Ganon kidnaps Princess Zelda. You got to go save her. You got to get the Triforce. You know, you do travel through time. You switch between being Link as a kid and Link as an adult.
Yeah.
With the going back in time 7 years with the sword.
They actually have Kid Link in Melee.
They do. That's kind of why I like that game a lot.
Yeah.
I play as Kid Link sometimes in Melee. So.
But first you have to unlock him.
You do. Yes.
And we haven't unlocked him yet. But.
Yeah, he's relatively easy to unlock from what I remember. He's not one of the harder ones, so you'll get to him eventually. I remember Mewtwo being one of the harder ones when I was playing. But yeah, so that's all of our Nintendo games, Jason. I think we had some pretty good lists here.
What was your favorite in the list?
Of your list?
No, in your list.
Probably Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but in my list then.
Your list. Let me see your list. Put it in front of me. All right. I'll pick one that wasn't on my list. Okay. Some of the ones that you crossed off are funny. I would have to say probably Super Mario Bros. 3.
Oh.
I really like that game. It's a really good one. Do you want to look at my list and pick one from mine?
Yeah.
So that's my list there on my phone.
What the?
Is it still there?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
It's still there. Mario Kart 8.
Mario Kart 8. All right. Well, it was good discussing Nintendo with you, Jason. We should do this again sometime.
Yep. We should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, would you like to play us out, Mr. Hostman?
Yes. Okay. Well, this is the end of the video.
This is the end. Dun, 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 dun.
What the heck?
You ever heard that Door song?
No. Well, I'm Jason, and this
and I'm Dan.
Dan Torby Spider Dan.
Yes, that's my full name.
Yeah. His middle name is Spider Dan.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Okay.